the smartest sports YouTuber back with another video. And in this video, we gotta talk about Joe Big Dick Burrow outplaying Herbert the pervert again. Justin Herbert cost his team the game against the Denver Broncos. No other way around it. Two fourth quarter interceptions for Justin Herbert, which led to 14 points. One of them was a pick six. But let's go through this game. Justin Herbert struggled most of the game. Well, pretty much he struggled all game. He had a dump down touchdown to Austin Ekeler, which I always say that just find Ekeler and he'll make something happen. He did a dump down to Ekeler, who made something out of nothing. Ran it in for a touchdown, making Justin Herbert look better. But Justin Herbert had two fourth quarter interceptions, and that led to 14 points. It was 14-7 when he threw his first interception in the fourth quarter, and the Broncos took that, went down the field, scored a touchdown, made it 21-7, and then Justin Herbert going down the field, less than 8 minutes left. So you would think if you score quick and then get the ball, you have a chance to get the ball back and tie the game. But no, Justin Herbert, the pervert, threw a pick six, down 21-7, less than 8 minutes to go. He throws a pick six to end the game for his team. His defense only gave up 21 points, and he gave up 14 points on his own, including a pick six. All the Herbert fanboys and trolls have to blame this game on him, because I remember you guys blaming Burrow for the Jets loss when the Bengals defense couldn't stop the Jets at all. But Joe Burrow threw one fourth quarter interception that was a tip pass, and you guys blamed him. So there's no excuse. You have to blame Justin Herbert for this loss. Both interceptions were on him. The one in the end zone, and they came on their side of the field. The first one came nearly in the red zone in the fourth quarter. That is terrible, and it was an absolute terrible decision, awful decision, low IQ decision like I said he has. The second one was high and behind Austin Ekeler. Obviously, Austin Ekeler is not going to catch that. There's really not a receiver in this league that's going to catch that pass high and behind like that. Could barely get a fingertip on it. And Patrick Surtain once again picks it off, takes it to the house, makes it 28-7, and then Justin Herbert stat pads his way to one more TD, because, you know, he had to get the one more TD, and it was a Hail Mary throw in the back of the end zone. He just threw it up, got lucky. So he ended the day with 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 300 yards passing. That's because he passed a lot more. Joe Burrow had 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. The pick came after a bullshit offensive pass interference call, and Joe Burrow didn't really get to throw the ball in the second half because it was an absolute beatdown of the Pittsburgh Steelers. His 2 touchdowns came first drive of the game, rushing touchdown, broke Minkah Fitzpatrick's ankles, got it in the end zone. His second touchdown came just at the start of the second quarter, really. Late in the first start of the second quarter. Beautiful throw to T. Higgins. A great deep ball to T. Higgins. Absolute elite throw to T. Higgins. And that was pretty much it. He also had one towards the end of the third quarter that should have been a touchdown to T. Higgins, but they marked it short, and they ended up running it in with Joe Mixon. So Joe Burrow ended the day 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, a higher passer rating, a higher QBR, a higher PFF grade, a higher completion percentage than Justin Herbert. So there's really nothing besides yards that Justin Herbert did better Sunday, and that's just because he threw the ball a lot more, because his team was down, because he threw his team behind, while Joe Burrow got his team the lead, and Joe Mixon and Joe Burrow kept the lead. So it's really that simple. There's really no way you could say Justin Herbert played better. You would just look like a biased fanboy if you tried to say that. Justin Herbert single-handedly lost his team the game. 2 fourth quarter interceptions. I want to make that clear because people got on Joe Burrow for throwing fourth quarter interceptions. Justin Herbert has 3 fourth quarter interceptions in his last 2 games. 3. Okay? All 3 Justin Herbert's interceptions his last 2 games have been in the fourth quarter. That's some choking shit. I told you Justin Herbert was a choker. Joe Burrow had a grade of 90 on PFF this week, because if you actually watch the game, you would see Joe Burrow played a great game. He had 1 throw to Minkah that was a pick just because of a bad call the play before, and he had to force it down the field. So he gave his receiver a shot. Minkah picked it off. But besides that, I mean, he had 4 incompletions the whole game. He was on the money. And yeah, that's why he had graded 90 in PFF, and that's why he's graded higher for the whole season than Justin Herbert is. Because I know you Herbert fanboys love to use PFF, so I better see you keep using it right now. And Justin Herbert fanboys, I just want to make sure you admit that Joe Burrow played better because Justin Herbert threw two fourth quarter interceptions that lost his team the game. Those are facts. You cannot deny it. You cannot try to say, oh, well, actually, if you look at this, Justin Herbert played. No, Justin Herbert did not play better. He's the reason his team lost two fourth quarter interceptions. That's it. Game over. I better see you trolls talking about it. Joe Burrow's better, and he's going to prove it this week, too, when he beats the living shit out of Justin Herbert. But we'll get into that in the preview video of the Chargers Bengals because we already know what's going to happen in that game, but I'll save it for the next video. But I just want to make sure you trolls know that Justin Herbert is a low IQ choke artist in the fourth quarter. That's why he threw two terrible interceptions in the fourth quarter. That's why you guys wanted to call Joe Burrow interception machine. Now the gap is only two. It went from, 5 or 6 interception gap between Burrow and Herbert to now 2. I told you Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert interception gap would close. Justin Herbert will finish with more INTs than Joe Burrow. That is 100% fact, and you just can't deny it. So Justin Herbert's turning into a turnover machine these past two games, especially late in the fourth quarter, because he is a choke artist and he loses his team games. Those are all facts. Facts in the chat, facts in the comment section. Exactly. I'm just proven right over and over. Joe Burrow definitely played better this week. The only stat Justin Herbert had above him was yards, and that's because he just threw the ball a lot more than Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow had a lead because he didn't throw picks to lose his team the game like Justin Herbert the pervert's bum ass did. So you guys need to shut the fuck up. Learn who your daddy is. Joe Burrow and I are your daddy. Okay, Herbert fanboys and trolls? Just know your role, learn your lesson, and admit that Joe Burrow severely outplayed Justin Herbert this week. Those are all fucking facts. But that's enough of that. It's clear Joe Burrow outplayed Justin Herbert. I'll leave that video off there. Hit the like button. If you hit the dislike button, you're a Justin Herbert fanboy bitch. That is a fact. Hit the subscribe button. Keep the channel growing. And you just listen to the smartest sports YouTuber on the planet. That's a fact. And I'm out.